Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. You're here on the home of the Slightly Above Average Ship Review. We are down tier on Warrior's Path in a domination match, and yes, I am in an aircraft carrier, the Russian Tier 3 aircraft carrier Komsomolets. This is not like my normal reviews because I'm not going to go over the ship in the port. I forgot to record that part of it. If you have not played an aircraft carrier before, my recommendation to you, the easiest aircraft carrier to start with is the Komsomolets. It is not the best line to start with, in my opinion, but I think this ship individually is the best carrier to start with. We're here with these HE bombers. You can see you've got a nice round target area to aim with. It's going to make it pretty easy to target any ship, especially destroyer, and that's why I think this ship is the easiest ship to start with. Don't get me wrong, it was between this and the Royal Navy aircraft carriers. I think the Royal Navy aircraft carriers are the easiest aircraft carrier line to go up, but I think the Komsomolets is the easiest aircraft carrier individually to start with. And we'll talk about why during the course of this match. All right, moving in, gonna drop on this cruiser. As you can see, makes it real easy to line them up, and we get a bomb hit and we start a fire already. All right, so what makes this aircraft carrier so easy to play? Two factors. Number one, that HE bomb drop is a nice round circle. It doesn't matter which direction the ship is going or if they turn. You put the circle over your target, you drop the HE bombs. If you're not aware, it's going to divergently change when you get to the Tier 5 carrier, which is why I don't recommend this line starting off as the easiest one. That's why I recommend the Royal Navy instead. Because the skip bombs that you're going to get at Tier 5 and Tier 7, in my opinion, are a little bit harder to master than just putting the target thing, the gun sight or whatever, the crosshairs on the ship you want to drop on and hitting a button. All right, here's another reason why I really like these carriers, the Russian ones. We're dropping all of our torpedoes at once on a target ship. There's no multiple runs to deal with. You get one run, you line it up, and you drop all of your torpedoes at once. And that'll be true for the HE bombs at a higher level. So there you can see we got 4 torpedo strikes on the enemy battleship. And he stopped the flooding, that's fine. But that's why I think this group of carriers, this nation's carriers, are so easy to play. Instead of dealing with multiple runs and dealing with, hey, let's drop some airplanes so we don't lose them all. With Russia, it's just a one-shot deal. You're going in to drop skip bombs or HE bombs. You drop, those planes go back to the ship. You go in to launch torpedoes, all your planes drop at once, and then they go back to the ship. It's different from every other nation in that regard. It's true, yeah, I think they're the easiest airplanes to shoot down after a drop, because there's no danger of them dropping again. But that being said, in terms of outputting the damage at Tier 3, you can see it's really easy to do. You just put that sight onto the ship for your HE bombs and drop, and there we started another fire, and that ship is going to take some burning damage here. All right, second flight of torpedo bombers going up. I would tell anybody, in my opinion, the most important thing for your carriers is the recharge rate for the airplanes. You want them to recharge as quickly as possible. So when I construct my build in a carrier, that's what I'm kind of setting it up to do. And then I would build into whatever group of airplanes, HE bombs or torpedoes, that I think the carrier does the most damage with. Real quickly there in that screen, we set our autopilot to move our aircraft carrier around the map. Please don't forget to do that, because eventually the enemy is going to figure out where your planes are coming from, and they'll send some ships your way. All right, here we're moving in. As you can see, all of my torpedo bombers are moving in on this enemy battleship. We're going to line it up. Obviously, that orange area is the arming area of the torpedo. So the Russian ships do have a long arming time for the torpedoes. But there we got a torpedo strike. Didn't get the kill, and that's totally okay. All right, while these HE bombers are moving out, it's probably not going to be very long for them to get to their target. I want to talk about the commander build we're using. Yevgeny Preobrazhensky, probably destroyed that name, I apologize. Row 1 no fly zone, row 2 one-way ticket, which does more torpedo damage. Row 3 out of sight for detectability of the dive bombers. Row 4 burn baby burn, chance of fire by the HE bombs, and the unique skill Torpedo Master. That's how we're rolling out in the Komsomolets. Alright, I think we missed our drop there. That's sad. I just came back right as that ended. Alright, damage record 120,103. XP record 2516. So really you can do some damage in the Komsomolets. It says it was a small and relatively slow aircraft carrier that was constructed from a training ship. I don't think I could find any real photos, but I did find a drawing, so we're going to go with that. All right, trying to lead the Svetlana. You can see that especially long arming area. The torpedoes are out. We're running away because we're trying not to get killed, and we do finish off the Svetlana with one of those torpedoes for our first kill in the game. All right, our team is down 4 ships to 3, and we are losing in terms of caps, and we're losing in terms of points. And so my teammates are crying out for my assistance, and I'm going to provide that here in the Komsomolets. We're moving out with our HE bombers. Biplanes. Gotta love it. It's not a Sopwith Camel, but it'll do. Moving out our HE bombers, taking a look, seeing what's out there. A Yitzislav, a Furitaka, a Kavur, and the enemy aircraft carrier. So we're kind of headed towards the Kavur, unless I find a better target. I feel confident. Doesn't have a lot of AA. The cruiser's there. The cruiser doesn't have a lot of health. And they're all sticking together, so that is a good play on the red team's part. But we do get that drop off. Unfortunately for me, all those miss on that run. So we got these planes back in the air. Originally I was going to try to make an end run up to the end of the map. Now I'm like, yeah, let's turn that beat around and not go very far. And I'm trying to get my teammates to kill off the least damaged ship, which is the cruiser. And they did that there. And I'm very thankful for that. So now I can focus on the battleship, and I'll tangentially try to spot the destroyer while I'm doing that. Alright, so we're just trying to get into a good position to do this drop. And again, the reason why I think this carrier is the easiest one to start with, you just have to line up one drop. You don't have to think about your approach angle for a second or a third drop. You don't have to drop airplanes and try to conserve them that way. You basically just get one shot to do the damage. Here, we're kind of aiming into the mist. I don't think a lot of those torpedoes are going to hit the target. I didn't want to loiter around there. Maybe 1 or 2. We get 3 torpedo strikes. Kind of shocking to me. I thought the Kavur might have been faster than that. So we get 9 torpedo strikes. We got 4 bomb hits. We've set a couple of fires. And we do have the 1 kill. And there you can see our whole flight is coming back towards the carrier. So that's how the Russian planes work. It is different than any other carrier. Alright, my teammate unlocked high caliber medal. We're still moving in. There's still time left in this match. And we're just concentrating on the Kavur. Mostly because he's an easy target to hit. And he probably doesn't have a lot of AA. Although he does have some. And at the last second, I say, hey, let's go for this destroyer instead. Put the bingo on the bango, and we hit him with a couple bombs and set him on fire. That's good for us. get these torpedo planes in the air, and I'm not going to use the torpedo planes against the destroyer unless he does something dumb like drive into an island or something like that. We're not ticking fire damage at the moment, so he did heal that, but he is severely weakened as a result of our last attack. And so I'm definitely more concerned about the Cavour. And so it's your job in the carrier not only to spot, but to kind of pick where your munitions are best used. And I think because the destroyer's so low health, it makes a lot more sense for me to go for the battleship, and that's what we're doing here. And you can see our battleship got taken out, and the aircraft carrier gets taken out. So we are going to launch at the Cavour, and we gave those torpedoes a little bit of time to do their business. And then we will put our HE bombers back in the air. 4 torpedo strikes, all 4 on the Cavour. Now, allegedly he's flooding, but I don't see any ticking there, which means he damage combat. And he still has a lot of health left. So at this point, I'm like, the destroyer's coming over here towards me. Got to take him out. And he's given us a pretty good angle, although it doesn't matter what angle. They're all good angles. Trying to lead him a little bit. And we do get the bombs in there, and we finish him off. And we get a detonation on the enemy destroyer. 57,000 damage. 2 kills. And we turn it around for our team. We now have a lead. My teammate is now contesting that cap circle, the alpha cap. Enemy battleship, no health left. And we took a big chunk of his health off in the middle of the game. But essentially, I think right as I get these planes up here, my teammate is going to finish off the Cavour. And so all these torpedoes that are ready to go won't be necessary. So I'm sorry I don't have a port review of this one. I just, the carriers are a new thing to me. What can I say? But if you're thinking about playing a carrier for the first time, I recommend the Komsomolets if you're just going to play at Tier 3. All right, here on the victory screen, 57,529 total damage, 13 torpedo strikes, 6 bomb hits, 3 fires, 5 cap defended flags, and a couple of kills. We ended up with just over 140,000 silver and just over 3,000 ship XP and commander XP. GG to the Iron Duke Kraken Unleashed. We finished 4th on the scoreboard. Really, for me, I think any damage game over 50,000 at Tier 3 is a good game. Unless you're great at carriers, and I am not great at carriers. Especially down tier. I think this is a solid game. Whether you agree with me or not, who knows. But yeah, that's the end of the video, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit that like button. I'll see you next time.